They sell Mario Kart or some kind of like Mario game first. Once it dies down, then or like it starts dying down, they'll sell the next one, which is going to be Smash or something. It'll rise, and then it'll die down, and then it'll be the next one, Animal Crossing. So they space out the big hits. They know which ones are the big hits.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the next episode of the Evocative Gamers Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Switch because it's officially landed and it's in the hands of somebody on this call. And so we're going to be giving you the 411. We'll talk about the must-have accessories, some games to look forward to. We're also going to be talking about Fortnite. There's some hot, interesting news to talk about. And we are going to discuss, really converse. Maybe we'll see we're on opposite sides here, Danny. And we're going to talk about day one patches versus our games just being launched unfinished. And then finally, we'll end it up with some trivia and some games. We got some new games for y'all. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let's jump into it. Hey, Danny.
What's up, Alex? How you doing?
The Switch has launched. Take us through the last 3-4 days of Danny's life.
Alrighty. So the Switch is coming out at 9 p.m. Pacific time, Best Buy, and I had work that night. So originally my plan was I'm going to leave work around 8:30, get to Best Buy at 9. I already paid for it fully. So I'm going to walk in, grab my Switch, and walk out. And I'll be back in the office by 9:30.
So how did we fare?
I got there at 9. I waited in an hour and a half line.
Okay.
And they definitely know how to upsell while you're waiting in line. It's like,
What were they upselling you with?
Do you want the chargeable? Okay, so the Joy-Cons come in like singles.
Right.
There's that one attachment that you can put them on, and now it's a single controller.
But it's just a holder. It's like.
Yeah, but no, actually, it syncs them together, so it's a whole controller.
Right, but it's just plastic, right? It doesn't do
anything. Yeah, just plastic, but this one charges.
I remember that one with the first Switch.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, interesting. I was good for like 30 minutes. I'm like, I don't need it. It's $20. I don't need it. It's fine. I'm usually the only one's going to play. My Switch will come with one already, so I'm good. But the longer I stood in that line, the more I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if my wife could also have her own one that she could hold both controllers in? Like, yes, that'd be cool. And you know what? If I am going to get 4 Joy-Cons, I should be able to charge the other ones. So they know what they were doing with those giant lines. I was just in my head the whole time. And my wife wasn't there to stop me, unfortunately.
That's almost like last night we were at Disneyland. And so I was feeling a little, again, it is very much related because I was feeling a little FOMO for, not having picked up the Switch 2. And so I'm walking down and I run into the Lego store and I picked up this little bad boy yesterday.
Oh my gosh. So you are playing Mario Kart.
I'm playing Mario Kart. I'm building Mario Kart is what I'm doing.
That's kind of cool.
But my wife's sitting over there by the car. She's like, where the heck did you go? And then she sees the giant box.
I went nowhere. I went straight to the car, I promise.
But yeah, very similar. I was like, there was a split second. I was like, dang it. If the wife was here, I would go straight. But she's not.
We are weak. We are
very weak. So, wives, if you're watching this, don't.
It was in and out, dude. If it was in and out, I had a goal in mind. Switch and out. That's it. That's all I need. But
you're the opposite. I do the opposite of what you just described. I'm usually in the store and I'll like impulse buy.
Yeah.
But I'm holding on to it. But the longer I stay in the store and the longer I prolong the visit to the cash register, the more likely I will leave it. I'll psych myself out and go, do I really need this? I don't need this. I'm not going to take this.
No, I'm the other way. I justify it more and more and more. Like I'll start cycling like, gosh, why do I need 4 Joy-Cons? 2 will break eventually. I should get another set.
Gotta have a backup to the backup. So the Mario Kart here, it was an in and outy, right? Because I was in a hurry, so I didn't get a chance to like psych myself out. And also, I have I think 10% off or 10 or 15% off because I'm a Magic Key holder. So it was too good to not bring home. It's one of those things where like this guy can't be alone, right? You need a friend.
my gosh. You're going to have the whole Mario Kart racing roster soon. Okay, so
I almost bought the Bowser. They have a really nice Bowser, but it was like $250 or $280 or something like that.
He must be bigger.
Let me see if I can find it. And it's like it's one of those things where like if you don't buy these things on the spot, then they go away. And when they go away, you're not finding them again.
That's how I feel about the Fortnite store.
That's $270.
Geez, that looks nice. You should have gotten that one.
I would have gotten it if it was $270. I was pushing my luck with $170 and already getting yelled at by the wife. So
I see.
So I didn't want to push my luck any further, Danny.
That's kind of cool. Is there a Yoshi one by any chance?
Just this one that I have.
Oh, it's the Lego. Okay.
Yeah,
Yoshi's on light. There's a light thing that does the same thing.
No, it actually like Mario, like Yoshi like moves his legs and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
It's got like a crank.
So did you put batteries in it? Or?
No, then he's got a crank. You crank it.
Oh. I thought crank was like a gear. Oh, that's an interesting gear.
You crank it.
Old school.
Yeah, no. So definitely old school. And then while we're talking about that, but anyway, so I picked that up, and that's where we ended up at. So anyway, so walk us through. So an hour and a half later, you get your Switch.
I get my Switch, and I'm like, okay, I need to go back to the office and finish my job. So I went back to work, and I worked another 3 hours, and I came home and I fell asleep. But the next day, I did my unboxing video on TikTok, and it was amazing. It's just like quick little 10-second edit. Opened it up, charged it up. It was so easy, man. Like it's really cool. I love the process of opening up my box and there's no staple in my screen. Did you hear about that?
GameStop?
Yeah. There's no staple. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good. This is good. And then, I don't know. I love the game. I think the graphics are amazing. Mario Kart World is amazing and handheld, and plugging it into my 2K monitor here, it was pretty nice looking.
Nice. I'm gonna wait. I'm optimistically gonna pick it up at some point. I did go to Costco and to Target today to see, because one of the things I wanted to ask you. Okay, so that was a pre-order thing, but how was the line for the non-pre-orders? What were your observations?
There was no line. There was a line. There was like 10 people in Best Buy, and then but I was like they were like outside the door so they can see inside the store. My line for pre-orders wrapped around the parking lot. So when I got in line, by the time I could see the front again, there was no line anymore. Like they were gone. So either they sold it and they got faster than I did as a pre-order.
Right, which is why that's kind of what I was trying to go with this, right? Like, is it worth even pre-ordering at that point?
I don't know. Is it still sold out? That's what I want to see numbers.
It definitely wasn't at Target today, but of course it's Saturday, and it came out on Thursday. I did see videos from Costco where there were just like hundreds of them at Costco.
Yeah. Okay. So the people can still get. They're still in the wild.
Yeah. Now I went I went this morning about 10 minutes after Costco opened. I didn't see. I did see Switch Pro 2 controllers for $75.
Oh, you got me one? Dang.
Well, I don't know. You're going down the whole Joy-Con route.
That's true. We gotta talk about the accessories soon. But yeah, I would say my brother-in-law lined up at like 7:15 p.m. He was there like almost 2 hours before it opened. He went to go grab some food, came back, and it took him 20 minutes. And he was in the front. So maybe they were just getting ready, get the process going of like, you have to show them your phone, show them your ID. And then if you're going to buy something, like, the charging grip, you go into like the line to buy. So there's like a couple of queues inside the store.
I'm still gonna wait. I like just Mario Kart's the only game that's really new, and the new Donkey Kong won't come out until July. So I'm like, by July they're gonna have stock again. The fact that there was that many available at launch gives me hope that it's not gonna be like a Wii endeavor. The Wii, I remember driving around all of Orange County with your mom to pick up a freaking Wii.
I think she also got a
Best Buy.
Oh yeah, I think they have enough units. I just don't know if you want to wait that long because of the potential increase in price that the Nintendo president has mentioned because of tariffs. So, like, there's also that looming on the horizon. So you got like to wait this whole thing out.
But my rule of thumb is if I see it, I'm buying it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
$2,000. I'm in.
I'm also consistently. I almost yesterday was on Costco.com and they like had it for like a brief second, and I added it to my cart, and it said like it'll deliver, but then it was out of stock by the time I added it to my cart.
Oh,
it was quick. So that 1 millisecond of hesitation probably cost me the Switch.
Did they have you any queues or lines online?
No. I just went online and it was like it said available, shipped like in 2 days. It was like I was contemplating it though because it was like $10 shipping or something like that. I'm like, oof, I don't know if I want to pay $10 shipping.
$440 Switch, huh? That's where I draw the line, mister.
Hey, it's matter of principle. So there you have it. So Switch 2 is officially launched. This is Danny's experience with the Switch 2 and launch day. He probably got in trouble with his boss because he was probably 2 hours too late.
I made it up for it. I came home really late.
Really late.
Yeah.
And then I see your comment about how a bunch of 30-year-olds can't stay up past 10 p.m. to play games.
No, you can do it. I'm not that man anymore.
All right. So for those of you
Yeah.
that were fortunate enough to secure a Switch, what are the must-buy accessories?
Well, as an owner of the Switch, right now, what I definitely feel, and I already told my wife, I need a case for this bad boy, especially having kids. I have one kid, and my Switch feels super exposed, so I hid it behind the TV. Like, hopefully he doesn't find it. But my Switch is super exposed, and there's also no screen protector, and the screen is ginormous on this thing. It's awesome, but it's like, holy moly, no wonder GameStop did not miss it. It's a huge area.
Well, there's also like a millimeter of cardboard protecting you from the screen.
I blame Nintendo for that, and I blame, like, my Best Buy had stickers on ours, but it was a sticker. Did you see there was a TikTok where it's like GameStop, oh, we ran out of staples, and he gets a freaking nail and a hammer. He was putting it on there. But
so
yeah,
are we looking at this? Are we looking at this one here, where it's the Nintendo Switch 2 carrying case and screen protector, or are we looking at this bigger all-in-one carrying box?
So, like, if I were to get something, like, you know, me and you were talking about like getting together and playing a Switch, I think I would take the all-in-one because you can take the dock also.
Yeah, you get the Pro Controller, you get your Joy-Cons, you get your cables, the dock,
Yeah,
and the Switch. So this is pretty nice.
it's because, like, if I'm gonna go play at your house and we're gonna like link it up, you know, 2 screens or whatever, I'm gonna take the dock, right? So,
Up to six game cards because it's just 6 codes.
I don't use any game cards. I already told you.
No, I was thinking about this today, and I'm like, Danny, how in the world do you keep track of what you own?
Oh, so I was going to tell you today, when I turned on my Switch 2, it says virtual game cards. And I'm like, I don't own any because I thought it was a new thing. Every single game that I've downloaded on Switch 1 is now a virtual game card. And it's like, download? Yes or no? I put yes, and it says, okay, we're going to download on this Switch, but it will be unavailable on your older Switch unless you go onto that system and and then check it back in. So you're just flipping it, like wherever you're at, you just sign in on your profile and you got the card there. So I don't know if it's that bad of a system.
So as long as Nintendo allows you to do that.
That, and the other issue is if, let's say, my son was like 10 and I checked out Mario Kart because I bought it on my account, and he gets my old Switch and he wants to play Mario Kart, I don't understand how that would work. There's an issue there.
It most likely will not work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the bet.
So now it's like, oh, okay, so I can see like 1 card per player, but if the game has multiplayer, but there's also that system where you can share the game between Switches. So
was I sharing this earlier? I don't think I was.
you weren't, but that's the all-in-one carrying case we're looking at, and that is what I would get. Does it come with a screen protector though?
Carry all the equipment. I don't think it does.
So
it does not include the Switch 2, by the way, just in case you were curious. It doesn't include the Switch 2
at least you get
or the Joy-Cons or the controllers or the straps. So funny.
Yeah, but
It is
I would
whooping
definitely,
$85.
it looks okay. So $85 is what stopped me, first of all, because I didn't see it at Best Buy. The only one that I could justify was the charging grip, because it was not that much. It was like what, $25?
So charging grip is up here.
Uh-huh.
We got the Joy-Con 2 charging grip. I'm assuming it's a new and improved version over the first one. I'm not sure how I feel about this translucent plastic, but
It reminded me of our old Nintendos, like the old Nintendo 64.
the 64 ones.
Yeah, so I like it.
This one is $40.
Nope. When I got it, it was not that much, I promise.
Ooh, maybe you don't have the official. You know what my wife? I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, I kind of really want to switch too. She's like, I'm just gonna because we have a vinyl cutter.
Yeah.
I have Jessica's little vinyl cutter, her Cricut. She was like, I'm just gonna cut you out of 2 and put it on your Switch.
I've seen also like the Pro Controller is the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's better. People have already tested both Pro Controllers, and the new one is significantly different if you're playing games that are very precise, like Mario Maker. So people are really liking this control. The people online, they're saying this control is a worth upgrade, but then not. It's
$85 for
no,
controller.
Where are your prices at, man?
Right here.
Yeah, I see that, but it was $95 at Best Buy.
Ooh,
that's what
75 at Costco. 75 at Costco.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like different prices going around, but the Pro Controller 2 was too much money for me to want to buy. But Tony brought his, and his Nintendo's first generation Switch Pro Controller works with my Switch, so you can save money there.
I think I have 2 Pro Controllers because the Pro Controller was the only way to. I don't know what the hell Nintendo was thinking with those tiny Joy-Cons. The original.
Well, I will say these Joy-Cons feel better, but the ergonomics on the Switch itself is not that good. They still need to put something for your palm. You know what I mean? The Switch itself is so flat. I don't know.
Yeah. I was also kind of, since I didn't pick one up, I was also thinking about the Stream Deck today. The freaking Stream Deck is more expensive than the Switch.
There's a new one coming out too, though. I would wait.
I'm not a big fan of mobile. And then, so here we got some Joy-Cons, $95 for Joy-Cons for a pair. These are up from $80 on the Switch one.
I would say the Joy-Cons feel nice. I do like the way they feel.
Have you tried the mouse feature yet?
No. I'm going to wait for Metroid Prime 4. I'm playing Mario Kart. I don't know when I'm going to do that.
Well, I don't know how I feel about the thing. We talked about the charging grip already. We got straps.
Of course you need straps, but it comes with straps, so you're fine.
And then we got the wheels. Freaking Mario Kart race.
I think Christina, because my family came over today and we all played Mario Kart, she wanted to play with the wheels. But I'm like, I am not going to pay $25 for 2 wheels, and there's 4 controllers. That's $50.
And then we have everybody's favorite, the camera.
Not worth it.
$55. Holy moly. That is not worth it.
You just need to have the right connection. It'll work. Any camera will work.
And we're still doing GameCube controllers. Long live 2004.
Only because Nintendo Switch 2 has that GameCube service where every GameCube game is downloadable and playable on Switch 2. Like I'm telling you, Alex, I don't understand the feeling of needing physical copies when I can just they keep bringing back the old generation, you know.
I don't know, Danny. I still prefer to physically have my stuff. Oh, and $120 just for the dock.
I guess if you really don't want to carry your dock around and you just want to plug it into different parts of your houses, $120 sounds like the price.
Folks, make sure you hit that subscribe button on this channel because once we monetize this channel, all these things become business expenses for us. So,
oh my God. Yeah, and we'll be like, oh yeah, I got a dock here and there, and there's paperweight back.
Everybody gets the dock. All right, well, those are the accessories. That's pretty much everything that they have. What did you end up picking up then?
Just a Pro charging grip and some extra controllers. It's better.
So you spent an extra $200 or an extra $100 in some change.
But that was in the initial day, and it was worth it. It was 4 players, right? Do you not want to play 4-player Mario Kart?
You don't even have 4 friends, do you?
No, but my family did come today, and my sisters, Jacob, my mom, myself, we were all playing. Not all at once, because that's 5 people. But I was counting, man. There's 5.
Thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah. Well, I told you to come in. I told you, hey, Alex, you gonna come Wednesday night? And you're like, I'm busy. Friday, Call of Duty, you're like, I'm at the House of Mouse. I'm like, all right, cool. And then today, it's just my family's gonna be here, and our place isn't that big, so I was gonna try to set up another day for you and Tony and Junior to come, because that's 4 of us.
All right. Well, that was the accessories. Let's move on to talking about games, because we kind of already got the Switch 2 pickup process, which was a little bit overwhelming, and you probably would have been better off had you not prepaid for it.
That, or if I would have just gone like, I don't know, 10:30 when I was at the end of the line, just show up, walk in, and come out.
So, what are some of the games that we got looking forward to? Obviously, we got Mario Kart, because that's what is on almost everybody's mind. But we got the Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Mm-hmm.
This one looks cool. I kind of like the way this looks. I'm getting SNES Donkey Kong vibes. My ultimate favorite one was still not Donkey Kong 64. That was one of my favorite Donkey Kongs of all time.
Yeah, I like Donkey Kong 64 because it reminds me of like Banjo-Kazooie, where there's like a story-based platformer. I don't know. I don't get the vibe of a really good story behind this one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like it feels like a Mario Odyssey type thing going on. Kind of gimmicky, kind of like here's some levels, get the stars type thing.
We got the Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which should have shipped with the console.
Should have been free. Not buying that.
How much is this one?
It's I think it's $10.
$10 too much.
Yep.
We got Danny's ultimate favorite, Metroid Prime 4.
Switch 2 edition, because it is coming out for Switch Basic. But we're not basic in this channel. At least half of us. And we'll be playing in 4K.
At 60 hertz, because, we're still playing in 2014
True
graphics.
True.
Nintendo hasn't caught up. We got Kirby Air Riders. Why is my thing not loading?
Kirby Air Riders. I did play the GameCube game. Alex, you should have it somewhere in your closet. And it was mine, Christina, and I'm pretty sure it was Tony, though. He says he doesn't remember playing that much. We would play this game all the time.
I don't remember playing Kirby Air Riders.
You get the glider, right? Like whatever you're riding on. There's different versions, different like skateboard type looking things. And I remember you can go around the city, upgrade your stuff, and then like events happen, and it's just really cool. Like meteors will fall down, you got to dodge it, and then it's a great racing game. It's fun.
We got a Legend of Zelda type of spin-off of the Hyrule Warrior series developed by Kyo Tecmo Games.
If I'm correct, it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild, but a sequel to a game that came out on the Switch that did not run well, because this game has a lot of enemies, and the Switch could not render them all. So
I don't understand what's up with their website.
Yeah.
All right. We got Split Fiction that is available, although you can buy Split Fiction on any console. Street Fighter 6 should be available on any console. Fortnite available on any console. I thought it was interesting that Cyberpunk 2077 was a launch title.
And it's on the game card. There's no virtual download there.
I did see that. I saw that. It's the actual card. I wonder, do you think Nintendo will do a mix and match for that, or do you think?
I think it's Cyberpunk themselves being a third party. They probably just found a way to do it. Where Nintendo's like, we can save something and just put half the game on there and they'll have to download the rest. You know what I mean?
Well, not to spoil one of our discussion topics for later today about day one patches and launching unfinished games, but if I don't mistake, Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be our main topic.
Oh, yeah. I got some on that topic that I would like to talk about.
Yeah. Other than that, again, nothing to write home about, although we do have more good stuff on the way. As this thing is, I just don't know what's wrong with Nintendo. Where's the Legend of Zelda? Where's the Mario? And where's the Luigi?
So my brother-in-law, who's a hard-time Nintendo fan, he grew up with Nintendo, not an Xbox and not PlayStation. He's a Nintendo guy. He says it always goes like this: they sell Mario Kart or some kind of like Mario game first. Once it dies down, then or like it starts dying down, they'll sell the next one, which is going to be Smash or something. It'll rise, and then it'll die down, and then it'll be the next one, Animal Crossing. So they space out the big hits. They know which ones are the big hits. They're not going to flood you with them. They want to keep bringing the hype up. So I'm like, interesting idea. And if we look at the calendar one day, we can try to pinpoint like plot points.
Yeah,
how that works.
I did see that Nintendo, for some reason, somebody over in Nintendo's department doesn't know consumers very well.
We'd buy anything.
Because no. Like, so if you have a Switch 1 game and you put it into the Switch 2, depending on the game, some games might be a free update to
like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was free update.
Right. So you get the enhanced graphics and stuff like that for free. Other games like Breath of the Wild, you gotta buy completely.
So they justify it by adding more features. So there's something else that came out with Zelda, and I'm pretty sure it's like this navigation or quest system. I don't know. I know Pokemon is strictly a
graphics update,
performance update. I wouldn't even say a graphics update. I would just say the game runs better, but the game still like visually is not like, whoa, that's realistic. No, it still looks the same.
And then, but so some you need to rebuy completely, some you get for free, and some there's a variety of different prices. Some are like $10 upgrades, some are $15, some are $20 upgrades. Why in the world would Nintendo do this?
I have no idea, but I'm curious to see what Metroid Prime 4 will do, being both on Switch and on Switch 2. I'm gonna assume Metroid Prime 4 will be more expensive on the Switch 2, and they're going to justify it with maybe a new feature or something that's not in the first Switch. You know, something Samus can do, maybe like a data log or something. And like 4K resolution, right? They'll use those two to say it's worth $10 more on Switch 2.
Somebody, like, when you're making things, when you're making products for people, you got to account for the dumbest user.
There I am.
If you don't, like, I mean, I developed software, right, for for companies my whole life, and you just gotta consider that most folks are not gonna know how to do it the way you intend, like in the way you visualize in your head. Because if there's a way to break it or circumvent the process, they'll do it.
Yeah, and that's usually what happens in video games when people release a unreleased patch or something and they'll break it right away. Like the super jumps in Halo 2, if you remember super jumps.
We found a way when you drop the grenade right at the right time.
No. When you wedge yourself between like two polygons in the map, and then you jump on a certain crack, and then you'll launch yourself in the sky.
I didn't even know that was possible. I know that if you like had overshield and you had like the bazooka or whatever,
you shoot the ground.
Yeah, and you can jump.
Rocket jump.
Yeah, there you go, rocket jump.
But the super jump were broken things in the game where, like, for some reason you're putting so much force in your character that when you then jump on an indent in the map, for some reason the character hitting that spot, a specific spot, you'll fly up. So people are saying like day one patches and all these like crazy like, you know, stuff they do to fix games like they can do nowadays. Super jumps will never exist like ever again. So like there's no mistakes that people can just go explore and like, oh, I wonder if I can exploit a glitch or some kind of bug. So I just thought it was funny. If people can find some way to break things, they will.
So before we get into our last topic, then let's just jump over to day one patches and unfinished games. So becoming a trend, and Cyberpunk 2077 was probably the biggest culprit, or at least the one that was most publicly known. I just wanted to get your 2 cents and thoughts on what do you think about this whole concept where game developers specifically, ship games prematurely?
So there's definitely a group of people that they will pay for the opportunity to play a game early. We see this with pre-order bonuses. Pre-order this game 3-day early access. Usually happens with like Call of Duty. So people are like, ooh, if I pre-order, I will jump on the bandwagon before everyone else, right? So now we take that idea and there's a system on Steam. I'm not too sure if you've ever played games on Steam often, where that's called early access. So those are games that are definitely not finished, and they're being worked on actively. So updates weekly or monthly, where they're adding tons and tons and tons of stuff or fixing glitches. And the idea is pay for the game now, and you can play what we have. As we update it, it'll get better. And it's called early access. So the idea is eventually the game will be completed. So now, it happened recently in the news today. So now I forgot who it was. It's one of the publishers. They're rebranding early access. I forgot what they're rebranding it to.
Test our games.
No, it's like
beta testers.
Something like this. But it's like it. They know that early access has a bad connotation now, so they're like, okay, because what happens, Alex, is they release unfinished games, and they never finish them, and they just label them early access. So the idea is you jump in early, and they'll actively fix it. You can give them feedback. You can show them bugs and glitches. They'll work on it, and they'll fix it. But now they're releasing unfinished games, and they never finish them.
You know that should basically be illegal, right?
Oh, but it's part of the early access clause. It could almost
no, because so historically companies pay for that service, right? You're doing their quality control for them, which is something that they're supposed to do before they ship the product.
Yeah, I'm not too sure legally where it falls.
They're saving millions and millions of dollars by giving you, by letting you be their tester.
I see that. And they're also making money by saying, hey, we have this idea. What if we released skins like in Fortnite in the game? And then they'll push it out. And now the early access people are like, oh, let's buy it. So there's like a constant loop of money just coming in from a game they haven't finished yet.
It's so funny how they can exploit human psychology to make so much money and save money.
I'm exploited all the time. I feel dirty. But that's early access. When it comes to Cyberpunk, I feel like it just wasn't baked enough in the oven. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But that's because everything you were describing so far is acceptable because you're entering a contract that basically says, yeah, I know your thing's going to be sucky and crappy, but for the exclusivity and privilege of getting early access, I'll put up with things. We have that in the software world too. We have alphas and betas all the time, right? In fact, my world it's much more detrimental to do a beta. I one time I got a client on an early version of a Jura feature, and that thing was so far from being cooked, it wasn't even funny, and we lost so much productivity having to revert everything back. It was I learned to never do a beta again.
Yeah, no betas.
Yeah, but that's acceptable because you knowingly enter an agreement, but day one launches, you're buying a game that you're expecting to go put into expecting to download nowadays, and onto your console and start playing.
So
you can't.
When it comes to Cyberpunk in particular, that game was in development for a long time. That was like 8 years or something like that. I was in high school when I learned of it. When the first trailer dropped, it was such a sick trailer. I'm like, I cannot wait for this game. It took forever to come out. A long time. Let's see if you can pull it up. But I will say,
dude, they had class action lawsuits.
There's a lot of stuff going on with it, man. But you know what? The cool part about Cyberpunk is, and there's other games like this, where they come out really bad because they were rushed out and they weren't ready to come out, right? But they have such an awesome story of just becoming something amazing. Cyberpunk plus its DLC is such a good story, such a good game. And like, I heard they're making another one now, so I'm excited to see where that goes. But yeah, the other game that I was referring to is No Man's Sky. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, I did.
So that game is huge right now. They added so much content. It's not half baked anymore. But when it first came out, people were angry. because the CEO was like hyping it up, like, oh, you can travel anywhere. There's so many things to do, blah blah blah, this and that. When it came out, it was like, this is boring. Like, what the heck? This is not even finished. There's bugs. It's glitchy. Features that he talked about weren't even in the game. But the cool part is they kept working on the game, and they eventually were in the game, and then the game's phenomenal.
But do you think that that's okay though? The fact that somebody releases the game and makes you buy it when it's not ready yet.
I think it's just rushed from the publisher for the most case. So like Halo 2.
No, I laugh because in my world, everything's arbitrary. Right?
Yeah. So do you remember Halo 2? The one criticism was a short campaign.
Yeah.
I heard it was rushed out. And that's why I had a short campaign. They ended it so abruptly. If you remember how Halo 2 ended, you battle Taurus, the big old brute with the hammer, and it ends there.
Yeah.
That's pretty arbiter. And remember what happened to Master Chief? He was on I forgot what that thing is called, but he was with the Covenant, and then he was up in space, and he found a way to come back down to Earth. That's why in Halo 3 he crash lands. But it ends like so abruptly. It's like, wait a minute, it was a short campaign, and everyone's like, that was the number one gripe with Halo 2. But Halo 2 made it because of multiplayer. But Halo 2 campaign was half-baked, man. But they did not have the ability to release content like they do now. So they took this idea, right, of half-baked, but now they can release content, and they released Halo Infinite, the most recent game ever. A half-baked campaign that I beat in 8 hours. I was like, nothing. For a campaign, a story mode, that's nothing. I didn't even try, under 8 hours. I didn't even speedrun it. I was just playing, And then it ends with this cool cliffhanger. I'm like, all right. It's like, we'll release the rest of the story later. Guess what happened? They canceled the whole Halo Infinite single player. It's like, what the heck? I paid for that.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be a weird future. I think we're back to our AI topic of like they're just gonna let AI like build the game, finish the game for you.
Bro, AI is gonna hopefully keep everything running. I mean, I'm excited to see when people give up, they can keep going.
Yep. All right. Let's take just 2 quick minutes because we do want to play some games and trivia. Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 3 out today.
Did you see?
Of course not. Of course
not. It is Superman as the Battle Pass skin. And all right, so it's superhero themed. So the first skin is Robin.
Super.
Mm-hmm. It's superheroes. They have like 4 classic Fortnite skins. So these skins are made from Fortnite characters, like their own original concepts, not based off of anything. This season is definitely going to revolve around the Superman release date. That movie from James Gunn is coming out.
I forgot about that.
So the Superman skin is not out yet, and you cannot unlock it until I think it's gonna be closer to the movie release time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it starts off with Robin in 2 skins. You can become Robin, or you can be Damian Wayne, the other Robin. And then there they are. And those are the other Fortnite original skins.
So we're done with Star Wars. We moved on over to Supers.
Finally. So I haven't tried it yet. I have it updated. I'm excited to try it out.
What does this mean for us? Is Star Wars gone? Then you just can't do any of the Star Wars stuff anymore?
Usually until next May 4th. So they've been doing it like once a year so far. So
so if you did not play the Star Wars drop, that's it. The map has not been updated. Instead of Endor, we're now on whatever this is.
Oh, zoom in on the little red patch there if you can. That red patch at the bottom left. What is the name of that city?
Shogun Solitude.
So that used to be Vader's place. So I
haven't seen the same map, but they just get updated to reflect these.
Whatever happening. So like right now that black area right there with like the cloud swirling, that's new. That used to be a good pivotal city in the game. So the whole map changes, and that's why I like Fortnite. See, that's new. I've never seen that. I have no idea where that location is on this map, but it's somewhere. something got replaced. So I'm excited to go look at it, explore, and see what's up.
Without getting killed.
Yeah. Well, don't
That's
worry.
the part I don't like. Why can't you just like walk around and have
Are
fun?
you updated? Do you want to play later tonight?
I no, because it'll take me 3 hours to update.
Jeez, I thought you had fiber, dude. I updated in 20 minutes.
I just don't like that all this dumb stuff. Like I just want to walk around with my friends and have fun. I don't. Why do I gotta worry about dying?
That's true. Normally, if you're a new account, the game is a lot easier. Because they put you with a bunch of bots. They're not gonna put you with the real players yet. And then as you get more account levels on your under your belt, it'll start giving you some more hard enemies.
All right.
So just say the game's easy, okay? Especially if you haven't played. Just tell me in the camera. The game's easy.
We
It's
are
fun.
moving on to some games. First
Sir.
game is Guess That Game.
Mhm.
I'm gonna describe and give you a couple of clues, and you just gotta see if you can
Halo.
figure it out. All right, time to guess that game. Clue number 1. This game teaches you that smashing pots is more profitable than having a
It's
job.
Link. Legend of Zelda.
How the heck did you know? Yeah, let me at least give you through all 3 clues. I never even smashed a pot. All I know is the Wii version of Zelda. You got a fishing rod. That's as far as I got on that game.
I never even played that game, so I just know that when you smash
Twilight
the box,
Princess,
you
I
get
think.
gems.
Yeah. All right. Real or fake? All right. I'm gonna give you a name, and some are gonna be real, some are gonna be made up, and you tell me if it's a real game or a fake game.
Yeah,
Goat Simulator 3.
real.
Can't believe that's an actual game.
It's actually a really fun
I
game.
know.
It's like your Microsoft Air Simulator, but you're a goat. It's a flight simulator. It's like your flight simulator. You should play it. It's really fun.
I should play my flight simulator. All right. Call of Duty Bureaucracy Ops.
That's fake.
I Am Bread.
That's real.
How do you know that that's real?
Because you got to put the bread in the toaster, and then if you fall on the floor and all this stuff, you get like, so you are bread, and you like move, each button moves a corner of your bread, and you got to like find a way to get to the toaster. It's really crazy.
All right. We're going to do 60 seconds on the clock. So I'm going to get my phone ready here, and we're going to do a 60-second timer. And I'm going to give you a bunch of like trivia type of things, and you just got to answer as many as you can. And we're going to do how many you get right. You can say pass to go to the next one if you don't want to, delay yourself or, get caught up in one. So we're going to give you a
What's
60
the ultimate
second.
number that I can get?
We're going to give you a 60-second timer. We're going to stop it here. I'm going to try to get you as many as you can here, okay?
Oh, okay.
On your marks. It's set. What is the color of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Blue.
What is the name of the city in GTA 5?
Oh my gosh, it's right there. Pass.
What game made the phrase "the cake is alive" famous?
The Cake's Life. Pass.
What year did Fortnite Battle Royale launch?
2017.
In Minecraft, what did you use to tame a wolf?
Bones.
What fruit does Pac-Man eat for bonus points?
Banana, apples, cherries.
Okay.
Pear?
What is the name of Mario's dinosaur sidekick?
Pass. Oh, Yoshi. Yoshi.
What weapon does the Master Chief use most often?
The Master Chief?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Assault rifle.
What color are the Joy-Con controllers in the original Switch box?
Red and blue.
What do you catch in Pokemon?
Pokemon.
There you go.
What was that?
I don't know. That's Chippity, man. This is what happens when you're on the free version of
What
Chippity.
are you catching Pokemon? Pokemon. Oh, wait, you want a specific one here? You catch them all.
We're gonna put up how many you got right, but let's go over the answers real quick. Sonic is blue. Los Santos.
Los Santos.
Got that one wrong. Portal is the cake is a lie.
Oh, Portal. I played those. This is funny.
2017 is the right answer. Bones is the right answer. Cherries is the one we're looking for on the power-ups.
They're all
I can't believe
ones.
you almost passed on Yoshi. It's like right there.
Oh, dinosaur. I'm like, I was thinking like Mario Odyssey, like there was a T-Rex in that game. Okay,
Weird stuff in Odyssey, man.
yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what the T-Rex.
Odyssey and Wonder, Nintendo. I feel like they were like on some drugs or something, some hallucinogens.
Let's make the next Mario game.
There's a weird thing.
Or what does he have? He has a hat. Go on.
A hat talks.
Oh, jeez. And he can jump on it. Whoa. And what if you put the hat on other things and they become Mario? Taking a fat hit. That's amazing.
Assault rifle is the chief's gun. Red and blue are the Joy-Cons, and then Pokemon is what you catch in Pokemon.
Bro, that should have been like a trick answer. Like you catch them all.
I'm gonna ask it next time. Give me some harder questions.
Yeah. How many? Were those all the questions?
Well, there's a couple more. We can go through them real quick.
Okay.
What game features a yellow triangle-shaped character collecting dots?
A yellow triangle-shaped character. Not a circle-shaped.
Not
character.
a circle, a triangle shape.
Are we sure?
Jippity, sometimes she hallucinates.
I don't know. What's the answer?
It's Pac-Man. It's a circular.
A circular, right? Not triangle.
Yeah, this is why, folks. If you're gonna use it, AI, make sure you validate your AI.
Holy moly, triangle-shaped.
What console did Super Mario 64 debut on?
Okay, Nintendo 64.
Which Sega character was meant to compete with Mario?
Sonic.
In Tetris, what shape is the long straight piece?
The long one.
It's called. It has a name.
Really?
Tetrimino.
It's a what?
Tetrimino.
If I said that, I want you to shoot me in the head. Like if I actually could answer that question, just I'm done, dude.
What's the name of the dog in Duck Hunt?
Dog.
He doesn't have a name.
No, that's his name. Yeah, dog.
Is Minecraft, which one's older, Minecraft or Fortnite?
Minecraft.
What's the default name of the main character in The Legend of Zelda?
Link.
What's the first gaming console ever made?
Ever?
We talked about this in a previous episode.
It's the Atari 6000. Before that, or
the Magnavox Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
In Among Us, how many imposters can there be?
2.
3.
Ah.
What's the rarest color of lightsaber in the Star Wars games?
Purple.
Black saber. Or black dark saber.
You show me another guy other than Samuel L. Jackson that has a purple lightsaber right now.
I don't know, dude. That's what ChatGPT did.
That is true. Those are interesting lightsabers. You're right.
All right. Next up, we got one last thing for you. I'm gonna give you 10 seasons. You got 5 minutes so we can wrap this thing up. I'm gonna give you 10 seasons of Fortnite, and you gotta rank them on order 1 through 10.
Can you pull up the pictures of the seasons? Is that available so I can remember which one? If you say season 1, I'm gonna be like,
I'm gonna give you their nickname.
Oh, okay, that'll work. Because if you just gave me numbers wrong, I'm like, I don't know.
Okay, I'll give you the nickname, and then you gotta tell me in 1 through 10 where you're putting this one at.
All right, I'm in.
All right, first one up. Again, 1 through 10, you don't know the next one, so you just gotta give them to me. Which ones are your favorites? Chapter 2, Season 2, Top Secret.
That's the one with Deadpool.
It introduced mythic weapons, Al Henchman, Deadpool, and the best battle pass in the Fortnite history.
Deadpool. I would rank that number for me personally. Okay, guys, before you yell at me, I did not play this season. I missed out on Deadpool. I was number 10.
Number 10?
I played other ones. I haven't played this one. I did not play this one.
All right. Next up, Chapter 1, Season 3.
Code name.
It didn't have one, but it introduced the John Wick style Reaper.
That was fun. That was peak Fortnite. Tony would play. Junior would play. A lot of friends would play.
Also known as the true rise of Fortnite.
Yeah, that's when like Ninja and all them started.
First real lore, meteors, and launched the game into mainstream.
Yeah, I remember that. I would number it number 7.
Okay. C1S3. All right. Oh, this one's interesting. Chapter 1, Season 4, Superheroes.
Oh, that one's fun.
Introduced Omega, Hop Rocks, and the meteor crash that changed Dusty's Depot.
I remember that. It became a hole, like a literal hole in the ground, right in the middle of the map. That'll be number 6.
D1S4. All right. Chapter 2, Season 4, Marvel crossover.
I didn't play this one. Put that at number 9. I am missing out on so many nice skins because of that. Captain America, Mystique, Thor. I didn't get any of those.
But you might get a chance to do them tonight, right?
No, this is DC focused. Superman and Robin.
Oh, I thought it was just superheroes.
Oh, true. There are some Marvel cosmetics you can buy right now.
Chapter 1, Season 2, the first battle pass.
That's a good time.
Introduced the Black Knight.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not grind it out because the XP system back then was hard to get enough battle points to get your pass. So I would rank that number 8 if it's available.
Yep, it's available.
I do have some skins from that, but I never got the Black Knight. Tony flexes it all the time. It's super rare.
Chapter 3, Season 1. Fresh start, new engine, Unreal 5, Spider-Man web slinging and sliding.
Oh, that was fun. 4. I have the Spider-Man skin and I have all the variants, and Junior is jealous.
Chapter 1, Season 5, Worlds Collide. Brought desert biome, paradise palms, and the iconic drift skin.
That was a fun one. What do I have left?
1, 2, 3, and 5.
5.
All right. Chapter 4, Season OG. The throwback.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I'll do number 3. The OG season before they brought out the OG playlist, because you can do it whenever you want now.
Chapter 2, Season 1. New map, fishing, bots, and streamlined mechanics.
I'll do number 2. Well, that's all available, right? Because it was hype. Dude, it had a sick trailer when it came out. That was cool.
All right, this one is Chapter 1, Season 10.
I like that one, actually. People hated it. That's like everyone's least favorite season. I thought it was fun.
This is the fun farewell to the OG map.
Yeah. That's the one where the rift comes.
Some hated it, others adored it. So that's going to be your Season 1 or Chapter 1, Season 10.
Yeah, man. Where all the new seasons at, man? I was waiting for those.
Honorable mentions, Chapter 2, Season 3. Aquaman.
Oh, the Aquaman one? Yeah, I skipped that one. That was too
Chapter 4, Season 2, Neo Tokyo.
That one was fun when it fell out of the sky. That was cool.
And then Chapter 3, Season 4, Chrome and Phasing Mechanics.
I didn't like that one very much.
Well, folks, that's it for this episode of the Evocative Gamers Podcast. I have not played any of those Fortnite ones, so
and you will play tonight.
I don't think so, because it'll take an hour and a half just to download the update. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, share this with your friends and family, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.